Hello, everybody. This is a special welcome, a great night for us to finish up our course on having an easy as possible succession in business or retirement or planning your exit. So just welcome everyone. We're glad to have Sherry with us tonight over in Charlotte, and Ed in Tarboro. Dr. Mary Young is with us in from Warren County, and Sarita in Clinton, North Carolina, and David over in Statesville. I'm sure we don't have some more join us as we go, but it's so good to have you guys with us, and thank you for your attendance in this course. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and so let's get on with it, and we'll wrap this thing up tonight and hopefully give you great information. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We are sponsored tonight by the Small Business Center at Lenore Community College based in Clinton, North Carolina, and our director is Lee Albritton. Lee is a fantastic director who will do everything in the world he can for you. And so if you're interested in getting some free professional advice about helping to jumpstart your business or take it to the next level, Lee is right there for you. So give him a call at 252-208-1225. And Lee, thank you so much for sponsoring this program this time, and we're looking forward to doing 2 more series with you this fall. Looking forward to continue relationship working it. Lee's office is downtown Kinston, North Carolina. He is in the Chamber of Commerce building at 301 Queen Street. So if you're downtown Kinston, drop in and say hello. Tonight's program is all about finishing up our series about planning a smooth transition or sale or exit from your business. This is part 5 of 5, and the title of our lesson tonight is Create a Legacy with Real Value. Create a Legacy with Real Value, and we'll talk about that and also kind of review the other parts of our series we've done. My name is Steve Carver. I'm talking to you from my home office studio at Dunn, North Carolina. My presentation number 1274, and it's a pleasure to have you with me again tonight. And look forward to having a great session. My job is to give free advice and try to share with you experiences I've had so that it help you avoid pitfalls or unexpected situations in business. I'm glad to share the information with you. I've got 66 years of being in business and counting, and so glad to be in a position to talk with on a one-on-one basis with you and encourage you to share any questions that you have, and we're certainly here to help you. Your success is our goal. The first piece of advice I always offer in the webinars is don't be afraid to ask for advice. Talk to people that's been there and done that before. Save you a whole lot of trouble. You don't have to reinvent the wheel these days. There's lots of opportunities to ask for advice and do that. And I'll be glad to help you any way that I can. There's no charge for my service, and look forward to hearing from you any way that I can. We are wrapping up this particular semester tonight, but we'll continue on Monday nights through August to finish out another series that we started earlier, and basically core topics for starting your businesses. So on next Monday night, we'll be talking about how to attract and reel in customers using the marketing tools that we talked about last night. So continue to join us if you'd like on Monday nights in August. And then in September, on September 8th, on Tuesday, and September 10 on Thursday, we'll start our fall semester on Tuesday and Thursday nights with core topics again, and look forward to inviting you to come. And in the meantime, if you know someone that's interested in getting the business started or might benefit from our classes, please invite them to join us. And when I send you reminders, if you would share them with them. We need all the attendance we can get to keep our program alive. So thank you so much. Study guides have been sent to you, many of them for tonight. You're used to getting those. I want you to save those, and if you will, take time to read them. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea to save study guides that I send to you in a file on your computer or on your laptop or your desktop. Because someday they might come in real handy to you, or you may be writing a paper or just needing some advice or have someone that's asking you for some help. So the study guides can be quite helpful. I want to say to you, no doubt about it, that y'all have energized me. This is a great group who's continued to attend all the classes. I'm so impressed with the progress that y'all are making, and you're doing a lot of hard work. But tonight, we're going to wrap up what we've talked about in the 4 previous classes, kind of focus on how can and what is the important ways that you can create a legacy that has some value to it. Not only just feel-good value or kind of presentation value, but actually monetary value. Legacies are very, very important, especially when you're transitioning out of your business. So I know you may be thinking, I'm just starting my business, so why do I need to be thinking about that right now? But the bottom line is, if you know that these preparations can be done as you work through the years and years that you're putting in your business, when that day comes that it is ready to retire or sell or succeed out of the business, it'll make a whole lot of difference if you follow the advice that we're talking about during these lessons. So keep up the good work. Do these things that help protect your family and minimize your tax burdens and give yourself a whole lot more peace of mind. I've lived through this a couple of times. I know it firsthand, and the things that I've included in these lessons are real, and I think will be very helpful for you. So let's lean into this thing and now move on creating that best legacy we can. Little review work in parts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Or what's on your mind, questions and comments, anything you'd like to ask or add to the program. I'd invite you to break in, speak up, and we'll talk about what's on your mind. Certainly, we cover a lot of ground, and we'll review them a little bit, and you can interrupt me anytime you can. In part 1, we talked about mainly why do you need to plan your exit, and there's no doubt about that. Planning now will help protect your values and ensure that your business continues to strive. If you've got your plan, if you got your business on a plan that's going to promote growth, if you got it going in the right directions. So I'm seeing the work that y'all are doing, and especially we mentioned to David and Mary and Eric and y'all's type of businesses. You really have to plant the seeds to see the growth come forward. So I'm encouraging you to look forward, look 2 and 3 years down the road as best you can, and maybe get some type of growth plan in place for your business so that you will have something valuable to sell or to leave to someone and to create that legacy. Changing out of businesses sometimes can bring on some really not good tax surprises if you haven't made the right kind of plans for it. So that's important that you do it. Ensuring that your business is built so it can continue on without you is important, so it will have value when you're ready to step aside. And mainly in the meantime, just to give you peace of mind and reduce stress, knowing that you're doing all you can so that you'll be ready when the time comes. You want to think about your personal goals. What do you want to do after your transition? Go ahead and have some dreams. Set some standards that you're going to try to reach, instead of just saying whatever comes will come. So have a good idea of what your financial goals and how much will you need from your business if you decide to retire or to move on. And then, as we just said, think about where you see your company going. Where do you see your business going in the future? What are its possibilities? Maybe we know they're out of reach right now, but think about what the possibilities might be. So here's a place that I would encourage you to visit AI, to ask AI questions like I'm asking you guys right now, and you'll get a lot of feedback, electronic feedback from AI. Some of it will be just out of this world, but all of it will be interesting because AI can focus on trying to help you make hard decisions for the future. So this is a good way and a good reason to introduce yourself to AI. One of our programs was talking about contingencies and what are the deal breakers when you're ready to move on. What are the different things that cause problems? And contingencies is a word that we don't use a lot in our webinars, but we have to use it in this one because it's so very important. So in some of the contingencies are, what is your health going to be? What are the deposits people are offering you, or finance your business, or you don't have to move? Do you want to keep some of it? There's a lot of ands, if, and buts that you'll face, and so I'm just telling you that now because this is a process that will take several years to get your business ready to transition out of it. And so as we think about it, what's my business worth? If I want to sell it, will people be interested in buying it? So here's where I'll say to you, I've got some good news for you. If you've got a business that has customers and it's established and you can show that you've got cash flow coming in, there is someone somewhere that's probably interested in buying it from you. You might think that my business is small or it's in a real remote area. You might be located in Pamlico County, North Carolina, which is about as remote as you can get on the eastern side of North Carolina. But I will guarantee you there are other people who may be wanting to move into that area, maybe retire into that area, that are looking for a business to run or to own exactly the size of yours. They may be interested in the way it is now, but their dreams may be to change it. So you can't put yourself in a box and say, nobody wants my business because it's no good without me. Well, we've talked about that. We want to make it good without you, but you always want to be proud of it and set yourself up in a position, because none of us are guaranteed another hour. The Lord is good to us, but he don't guarantee us any extra minutes. And a minute from now, or a week from now, or a year from now, we may be saying, uh-oh, things have changed. I need to sell my business. So thinking about it right now, about building your business and growing it in a way that helps it be worth more money, goes a long way. One of the important factors that when we think about what's our business worth, and if you have a business, it's worth something, but what is that value? And the key that we talked about, and I want to make sure that y'all are honing in on it, there's two values here that comes into play when you're talking about what's my business worth. One is book value and one is fair market value. Do you remember those discussions that we had about that, the book value and the fair market value? The book value is what is worth in the financial records in the books. And that's basically, it adds up all the assets that the business owns, the tangible assets mainly that you have bought, and you've got them listed, and that number is what you paid for them, less the depreciation they've had as you've gone along. And that's important when you're selling your business. Whoever's buying it wants to know that, wants to see how the assets have fared through the years. But the fair market value is the actual money that someone is willing to pay you for it in today's marketplace. So your book value of a business based on its asset might be $100,000, but the fair market value might be $1 million, depending on what the company's up to and what's just going on. So remember, anytime saying what's the value of your business, you're always going to have two numbers to deal with: book value and fair market value. There's three different ways, and we talked about this in the second week. There's three different ways of valuing a business. There's the asset base, which is basically looking at the real estate, if that's there, or the assets that you've owned. The revenue based, which is how much money is the company making? How's it turning inventory, such as that? What's its ability to create cash flow? Is going to be talked a lot about. And then there's the market based way to evaluate, which is saying, okay, this is a type of business that's important in the market, is moving forward. It might be like Mary's business, creating a lot of videos and figuring out a way to monetize that, or creating child children or educational books, and it's an ongoing thing. There's a continuing demand for it, and she's got a good marketing that's creating cash flow to do that. So the three factors, market-based, revenue-based, and asset-based, will always come into play. But here's the rest of the story. Sometimes you have to use a little bit of each one of them to come up with the value of your business. Every business is different, and therefore a broker or someone that's telling you you need to do it this way or that way or that way, sometimes may be not telling you the best advice. They may be telling you the way they want to do it to enhance their ability to earn a bigger commission or a bigger piece of your pie. And I'm saying that most of the time, in my experience in selling and helping other people sell small businesses, we look at a combination of things and don't get too rigid with one type of methodology or the other. So where are the real values in the business itself? Well, we talked about that a lot of different ways, and you'll figure that out. So you've got your values, and that are the hard assets, things that you've bought that you can put your hands on. But I also got to remind you, you've got your intangible values. And your intangible values are very, very important in small business North Carolina. That is your customer base. Do you have a group of loyal customers? Do you have raving fan customers? Are you in good touch with your customers? And can you show a prospective buyer that is true? And how do you do that? Then you have this database that we've been talking about in all of our webinars. You have your list of email addresses and prove that you've been using it and you're getting feedback. Recently, when I was able to sell my business, I had a database with over 4,500 active email addresses with farm equipment customers. That didn't include any of my contacts with the webinars and seminars like you guys. That's probably a 5,000 or 6,000 database right there. But it's not for sale. I don't share that information except with members of the academy that start a new business. But your assets are important. So if you've got an ongoing business again that's earning money and has customers, it's really important about what you can do now to start building your value is really concentrate on building as large a database of contacts with other people as you possibly can. That's like having money in the bank. And what's the most important people in that database is your raving fan customers. You have your general database, but you've also got that special database of your regular customers that you can stay in touch with them. Over in part 3 and week 3, we talked about when should we start? When should we actually start thinking about transitioning, and why does timing matter? And there's a lot of common pitfalls if you are in a situation where you're having to rush to sell your business, or you're having to rush to get out of it, because unexpected events can force you to do things without a plan. But right now, my good friends, you don't have to do that, because we're talking about tonight. And I'm asking each one of you to consider at least putting together a simple transition roadmap, a plan of goals. Start writing down maybe what you want to be doing and when. And it's okay if you plan this out over, because we said in our classes 36 months is probably the best time frame to start a serious transition plan. So it's important that it's on your mind and you do it. So let me ask you, if you don't mind, to type in over in chat, yes, I will give serious consideration to a transition plan for my business. Just give me a yes or a no, but I would really like for you to type in, yes, I'll do it, just so you're saying it to yourself to do that. And go for that. I see that Sherry has written us a note over on chat. I don't know if all of you can see that, but Sherry has said that she drove from going back from Raleigh, and they saw a Carly C's grocery store. And so we did talk about Carly C's, and they're a real special group, and I appreciate you mentioning that. Carly C's just opened up a brand new store in Elizabethtown, and we're hoping that they're going to start a brand new one in Garland as well. So they're still growing, Sherry, and I want to encourage you, if you drive past them again, is to buy some of their sausage. It's the best sausage you'll ever eat, no doubt about it. So back to the lesson. So what are the steps? What are the steps that we'll take as we're planning our transition? And there's three major steps. There's preparation, execution, and implementation. And then after we do it, is doing the follow-up, the post-transition, reviewing how things are going and taking the little steps to make sure that you're meeting your goals, and also that you're helping the people that bought your business or are running it now, that you're still in touch with them in any way that you can to help them grow. Those factors go a long, long way. Preparation, execution, and implementation, and then review and refining as you go. In part 4, we actually talked about, let's get started. Let's see if we can do this, start transitioning. And that is, number one, of course, we need to find a way to agree on the price and the terms. That's a big step. But you know what? Just because you've agreed on the price and the terms don't mean you've been paid. It don't mean that the people have shown you that they can pay you with proof. So just coming up with a price and the terms of the sale is not the last step. It's actually the second step in moving forward. Number one is putting it on the market. Number two is finding a buyer and agreeing on the terms. But now the formal process starts, and it's real, and it gets really complicated because some things have to be done. So let's look at it step by step. First of all, you have got to present to the prospective buyer real documents. You got to have some real documents there for them, because they're going to want to have something more than just your say-so to do that. Your financial statements, your sales records. You got to prove you paid your taxes. You got to prove there's no legal issues happening out there. Next step is you need to prove to them that you've got some RFCs. Those raving fan customers that I talk about so often in our webinars, those people that are your loyal, regular customers that keep coming back to you and send other people to you, that is an asset that you can't put your finger on, but it's an asset you can prove with your databases and your records that you've got a good group of loyal raving fan customers that are going to stay with you. And then while you're doing that, you'll need to be convincing the new operators that you will be able to bring those raving fan customers to them. And you know what? One of the things you'll say to them, my raving fan customers will want to see from you a mission, a vision, and a promise statement before they will automatically accept you. So if you've been using these mission, vision, and promise statements through the years, and your customers are used to doing business with someone that's proud of that, if your customers are used to doing business and feel good about doing business with business owners who have a moral compass and treat people right, then you can say to the prospective buyer, you need to get your mess in order and prove to my customers that you have a moral compass, that you are going to treat them right, that you do have a mission, vision, and promise statement. And that'll do two things for you. Number one, it'll make you feel pretty good about yourself. Number two, it'll make you feel really good about your raving fan customers. And number three, it'll make you feel really good that you're selling your business to some people that will treat your customers right. I had to shop for years before I found a prospective buyer that I felt good about being serious about treating my customers right, more so than just putting profit in front of everything else. I wanted to see some principles that were running my business, and thank the Lord I was able to find the right buyers that are doing exactly that. So there's some negatives. There's some negatives and there's some positives, and so I want you to be aware of that. It's not all guesswork. Just think where you would have been if you hadn't had these lessons, because these are a lot of things you just don't think about, and you really don't think about it if you're under stress and feeling like you've got to sell your business. So I really hope that this helps you as we move forward. So how can you do this? All right, getting ready to sell your business means now that you're going to need to be selling more than your profit centers. You're going to be selling more than your services. Now we're going to think about having a marketing campaign to help us sell the business. Yeah, thinking in ways to present that to help us sell it. And you know what? That is a very positive thing for you, because when you look at ways that buyers might appreciate your business more and be willing to pay for it more, that's exactly the same thing about what you would do for your regular marketing campaign to make customers feel better about doing business with you. So all this ties together. Just because you're planning how your succession might go, it has everything to do with planning how your future business might go starting tomorrow. So we plan that marketing campaign to make it happen. So that's what we talked about the first few weeks. So tonight, let's kind of wrap all this up and talk about creating a real value and legacy. This is when I want you to kind of relax a little bit, let your shoulders relax a little bit, because now this is a feel good thing to do, and I don't want it to be one like you're worried about writing your obituary here, or seeing your business go out, or seeing your business have to go out of business. We're talking about writing a legacy here now, and so there's two legacies that come into play. And a legacy might be one that when you sell your business, yeah, people are around, maybe your customers, they might miss you a day or two, but then you're just history. You're smoke that's gone. Or maybe your customers will remember you for a long time, and they will tell their children and other people about how great it was to do business with you and what you did. So is this going to last? And when they mention doing business with you, are they going to remember what the business did, what those products did for them, how important they were for them, and or are they going to remember you? Yeah, there's two legacies we're talking about here, and they'll be very different if indeed you plan for that and to make it go for it. So your legacy can have value. It can be worth money, or it can be worth goodwill, or it can be worth great memories for a long time. And I want you to have all of that. I am so fortunate and lucky to have been able to experience all this, mainly because I've been in business a long time, but more so than that was because I started in it when I was 12 years old. And my daddy was running the business, and he was learning as we went how to run a business, and I picked up a lot on that, and he was a great teacher. And as he made customer friends, he always invited me to meet them and become friends with those people. So I was meeting at 12 years old, I was meeting 70 and 80-year-old men and their children and their grandchildren and their grandchildren through the years, which gave me a unique base that I'm so thankful for. I didn't do anything to deserve it, but I was blessed with it, and it was a business that I loved, so I got into it. So it was just a win-win situation for me to create a huge number of generational customer bases, and that's made a big difference from us. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, and see how maybe you can bring that into what's happening in your life and you're going on. I think in terms, especially like with Mary and with Sherry, getting ready and moving forward. Sherry, brand new, moving forward with her education and her authorship and helping people, and all the years that Mary has helped people, and even now working really hard. This generational thing is huge, and it can mean so much for you. And I want you to take advantage of it. I want you to build those relationships with folks as you meet them and you share with them and get feedback. Let that become your greatest asset. Is this long, huge list of folks that you've worked with through the years, and you care about them, you've learned things about them, you know their personalities and their families. That's a treasure, and I want you to treasure it. So few people get to know that, and it is the most exciting part of entrepreneurship, this aspect that we're talking about. Creating that legacy for the long haul lasts for so many years to come. And when you're gone, these people that you're close to will remember you with their family and their friends and your work and the things that you have taught, the good lessons that you have taught and shared will live on with them. Someday you may be opening up some of the study files that we have looked at in 2026, and in 2056 you may be still looking at some of these study guides and picking out little things here and there and sharing it with people that you love and work with that makes a difference. That's how your legacy outlives you. If the good work you've done and the good things you've shared can be shared by other people in the future, it's been worthwhile. And maybe we didn't make $1 billion, not $1 million, but let me tell you, our treasures are so much more valuable than dollars and cents when your legacy lives on. So I know that you guys are right in that groove, that you can do that, and I'm really pulling for it to happen for you. So what truly defines that legacy that endures to generations? What is that lasting value? How can you ensure that your business legacy thrives, the transition, and smoothly goes into the next generation? That's the questions that we all have to ask ourselves and work in a direction of doing that. So this is a lot more than just simple planning. It's not like you got a blueprint to build a house with it, because we're shaping the future here. And you're thinking about things right now that will shape your future and your values that will impact those around you. And Sherry, this as I was putting this slide up, I was thinking about you and your authorship and moving forward your education in the direction of helping as many people as you can. I want to encourage you to think about that. Your planning now shapes your future, but it also shapes the values of the people that you're working with. And Mary, I know that you've already experienced this in your years of work helping folks in education and helping people improve their lives and their vision. So your help to Sherry will be very valuable. I hope y'all can talk to each other and share some ideas. When you have a purpose in life, it's a powerful thing. And when you can prove and talk with people that you do have a purpose, you are here to actually make a difference. Just like I'm saying to you right now, I am here tonight, not just to make $1 and give another webinar, one of 1,276. I'm here tonight, and I try to be here every night to have a purpose of motivating and striving for folks, and knowing that sometimes I might be talking with someone that's kind of down in the dumps or getting very discouraged, and to say to you, I know it's tough. I've been there. I feel it, but you got to keep striving and never give up, no matter what the obstacles are. When you don't give up, you kind of thicken your skin, but mainly folks are watching you, and you're not giving up and making it to the next step. That's creating your legacy. People appreciate those folks that don't give up, and even when the times are tough, they keep fighting through it. People appreciate the little guy, the little girl who has all kinds of obstacles, but they just keep fighting and keep pushing, and showing that intestinal fortitude, and that four-letter word, guts, intestinal fortitude. That's what you need to do, and that's when you're building your legacy, when you're doing that. So we're going beyond that bottom line of profit and loss, building the true value for your business and for your community is when you build a legacy, not only for the business, but showing the community that you were the person that made it happen. No matter how small the business is, it can have a huge legacy because it's tied to the work and the strength and the success and failures that you pull through as you were going forward. I always love, and this is the time when, in the time of AI and all these fancy things going on in computers and everybody being so technical and doing so much stuff on the internet, I want us to think about and just turn a switch, and we'll talk about the good old days, maybe you might want to call them, because there were some different times in this world. And we can still appreciate those kind of times if we let our mind do it. So I have a picture up here of Bynum's front porch. This is a grocery store over in Chatham County. Bynum is a real small community at the head of the Cape Fear River in Chatham County, really beautiful area. And it's like when you're in downtown Bynum, you might as well be driving back into the 1940s and 50s. It's a beautiful place, and the people there work in Raleigh and Chapel Hill and all around, but they come from this neighborhood in Bynum, which is a really great place. Now, maybe you were raised in a small neighborhood like Bynum, and maybe you had a country store like this that you used to go to. Well, if you didn't, your mom and your dad probably did. And when you're riding down the road these days and you find yourself maybe out in the country a little bit or in the suburbs, and you see these type of businesses that are there, and sometimes it's just an old store building with a Coca-Cola sign on the front of it, let your brain click off for a minute and let your thoughts go back and meditate for those split seconds and say, there's value there, there's legacy there. The reason these places have soft spots in the hearts of many millions of people is because of the experiences they had at that business. And then let us say, how can I in my business today help my customers, help my friends, help my associates experience that same type of feeling? And I don't call them slices of life later on. And it's so important now that you grab onto this so that you can build it into your thought process and automatically start building it into your business. A small business can have a huge legacy. Say that with me. My small business can have a huge legacy, no doubt about it. Now look at here at the Bynum store. They have annual events there, and the people from the community just come. They have the sings and the musicians and the open mics. This is that same porch that I just showed you a picture of. This is one of their community events that they have every now and then. Hundreds of people come, not just to hear the musicians, but to share the memories of the slices of life they had at the Bynum store. My Carver equipment company that my dad and I built for a long, long time, we had those kind of memories there. We had the sons and the grandsons and the granddaughters that came to our store, and they remembered them and talk about them. We still do that with people I meet on the street every now and then. That is so special, because as they bring it up to me about their memories, I know that my daddy's legacy lives on. And I know that the work we did together and all of our employees, because our employees shared in these memories, and it's just heartfelt and so important. And you can do that as well. So in a small town, your business is not merely a place of commerce. It becomes a vital thread in the community fabric, weaves together generations and fosters cherished memories and entrenches the unique character of the town itself. So if you have a bricks and mortar operation, and there's fewer and fewer of those now, but still yours may be the one that comes forward, that you decide that you want to have that bricks and mortar operation. And Mary, you may decide that, hey, I want to have a bookstore. I want to have a place that people can come and see the videos or make videos or have time with the children or teaching experiences. If you're in a position to have a place that people can come and experience your business, wow, that's so important. Think about the opportunities that it might bring for you. So maybe there's not a huge paycheck here. There's never been a huge paycheck in my businesses, but there has been a huge benefit and experience of gratitude that your customers bring to you when you are creating relationships that last. And that, doing it year after year, that's building a legacy for you personally as well as for your business. So it's not what you accumulate. It's the imprint that you live on the world. What is your testament of your values and your passions and your positive impact that you've had on others? And I've worked now with several of you for several years, and I have no problem saying to myself and to the world that I am confident that y'all have really great moral compasses and are determined to make a mark and a good lasting memory. It's so easy to use Dr. Mary as an example with her work, with her books and her work through the years with people, and continuing to try to do good things with marriage counseling and on and on and on. And I just can't even begin to dream what the future holds for you, for each one of you. Let your dreams out of the bag. Take that great big spotlight on and shine them, and let's see what we can do to make them warm up and grow, and to just start multiplying and doing good things. And if you come up with something to make it start working and I can help you in any way, I'll move it forward. My friend, that's what we're here for. That's what I want to do. So when you think this way, touching people means that your legacy will transcend your life. I know that after you pass away and your funeral's over with and they've come and picked up the flowers and taken the tent down, that your legacy will live on. Your memory will live on. The good works that you have done will live on with not only your family and your loved ones, but people that you did business with. And when that's in your heart or in your goal, then I'm going to assure you, my friend, you will be a great entrepreneur. You will be the kind of business person that I'm proud to say was affiliated with the Academy for a period of time. That's what we want the Academy to be, for that, to nurture relationships and to do things that are meaningful for people other than ourselves. Well, that kind of wrap it up. Do things that are meaningful for people other than ourselves and that is greater than ourselves. Yeah, that's what we're doing here. And as you can tell, I get excited and emotional about it. So let's begin doing this. First, define your values and your vision. Get serious about defining your values and your vision. That's what I was asking you to type in yes for. That's what you can do. Identify your core values. Go back and look at that mission, vision, and promise statements that each one of you have done. Well, I don't think I've got mine from Eric yet, but or Cynthia, but I know that they're coming. Go back and relook at your mission, vision, and the promise statements, and see if you want to build into what you're promising yourself here, promising yourself and your customers to do with your business to move it forward, so that indeed I can identify that your core values are there and your customers can do it. Number two, just say, hey, I understand, I got it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to start being better at nurturing relationships. I'm going to work harder with talking with people and earning their trust and hearing what they're saying. And when they need me, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be there. When my community needs me, I'm going to try to be there for them. When one of my students needs me, I'm going to try to be there for them and do what I can. And be willing to mentor and share ideas that help other people. Become that person that others know will help you. Wow. Don't you want to do that? Don't you want to have that reputation? So now we mix up the two words and they go together. They're woven together. Reputation now becomes legacy later on. Reputation now becomes legacy later on. Nurturing relationships. And now we got to show the community that we actually care about them, that we are willing to volunteer, we are willing to get involved, we are willing to think about the environment, we are willing to think about something besides just what's in front of us in our little bowl, but we have a greater vision, because that greater vision is going to help get you out of the box with your business as well. That greater vision is going to help you connect and start networking with people that think likewise. Therefore, your customer base, your database has a chance to grow with new and greater things and bringing you new opportunities how to grow your business. And being willing to grow and accept that opportunity is legacy building. Legacy building. I hope that you can tell that I'm doing my very best to help you to think out of the box, different than you thought about before this program started. There's a greatness in you, David. There's a greatness in you, Cynthia. Let it out. Be willing to show it. Yeah, people around you may not be giving you much encouragement to do this, to do something wild, as long as it's good wild. But old Steve-O it's exciting. And you know what? You may make a mistake or two. I'll give you that. And I'll still be proud of you. And people who are watching, even knowing you made a mistake, but knowing that you were trying to do the good thing, it's a good thing. That's a good, positive thing to be doing. Our preacher oftentimes says we need to get out here and really work at finishing the undone good. I had to hear him say that a few times before it really sunk in, and I was kind of getting what he said. But you know, there is a lot of undone good that we can do. We all try to do a little bit of good. We all try to put a happy face on something sometimes. I sure do that. But are we really looking for ways to finish that undone good? That's when you're taking that extra step. That's when you've moved past ordinary to becoming extraordinary. And that's the greatness that's in us, because we have the power to do that within ourselves, and no one else can make it happen but you and I. So I hope that I can do more finishing undone good, and I want you to join me in doing that. So as you're doing this, you're going to start creating things that last longer than one banana pudding. You'll start creating things that last more than one Christmas. You'll start creating things that include knowledge and wisdom and courage to be the one that stood up, to be the one that spoke out, to be the one that had the courage to do the right thing, even though the others around us couldn't quite find their way to do that. A lot of this is all about saying truth to power. We hear that on news reports, but I'm not talking about news reports now. I'm talking about our daily lives. Powerful people, powerful influences will try to encourage us to take the less good road, the lower trail. But we want to be the ones that had the courage to say, no, I think I'll stick to my guns and do things the right way, the best way, and keep my principles in front of my profits. When you're doing that, you're building a legacy. You got to have this desire to have that legacy before it will happen for you. So live intentionally and live authentically. Be yourself. Lead by example, as I was just saying. Demonstrate that you have the values and embrace learning and growth. Encourage people to go that extra mile to improve their skills and becoming the best version of themselves. We got to be resilient, because there's always going to be things knocking us down. There's always going to be distractions, as we talked about all the time. We got to overcome those obstacles and setbacks. and look for the ways that we can grow and that we can learn. Is it easy? No. But is it fun? Is there gratification? Is there happiness to be found in living this life? There really is. A lot of things can be going wrong in our business, in our life, in our family, in our relationships, in everything that we're doing. But today something comes along and you have the ability to help someone or encourage someone, and you do it, even in the middle of all this other bad stuff you're dealing with, by taking that move and helping them, it brightens your day and makes the whole world better. It puts a different light on things when you know you're doing right, when you know you have taken that extra step to be the great Boy Scout or the great Girl Scout, to do those kind of little things that help people. They add up to being a great, big, fantastic legacy. They really do. So, how can you determine your current legacy for the business that you want to buy or sell? First of all, you need to do the diligence. And what does that mean? You got to do the processes to go through it. We got to figure out what our liabilities and our pitfalls are. We got to figure out what a final purchase price might look like. It takes some work and it takes some time, but that's called due diligence, and it's an important part of any succession. You need to work on making sure that your business reputation is as good as you can make it, that it reflects all the current chapters of good things that you're doing, that customers understand that you're doing the good work. As I said in the webinar last night, it's up to you to let your customers know all the good things that you're going. So you have to talk with people and make sure that you're bragging on yourself a little bit, and I don't want to take that to the point that you get conceited, but as a business person, it's up to you to take your good points and put them into your marketing plan, because that's what's going to help customers come to you and look after you, be concerned about buying your business. And know why your business is for sale and have a way to tell a prospective buyer. Maybe there's some bad news into why you're selling it, but you got to be honest and you got to put your plan together, a presentation. We got to have a pitch. We got to make it look as good as we can, but be truthful. And this is where you may need to bring in a business coach, someone that's done this through the years, to save you a lot of time and energy, not to spend a lot of money here, but to give you the ideas how to best present your business and market it. So now, how about taking some action? So here's the action. Listen to your heart. Identify your personal and your business core values. Fire up, put a fire under it, just like I was saying. Find your passion and determine that, yes, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to solve my goals. I'm going to reach my goals, and I'm going to solve my problems. I'm not going to leave it up to someone else or just chance. Think about the people that you admire. Think about the people that you have known through the years and that you admire, and think about what characteristics that they had, like honesty, integrity, compassion, resilience, and then say to yourself, I want that. I want to own that. I want to be that. And start cultivating it within yourself. Now, this is an exercise that I took seriously maybe 15, 20 years ago. And every now and then, I'll have someone just ring my bell. I'll be in their presence, or I'll hear them speaking. Maybe it's someone on TV, maybe it's a preacher, maybe it's someone I'm just across the room, and I notice how they're acting. And I say, I want to own that character. And I started trying to pick those up. And those character building traits or habits, and it's come in so handy, it's so real, and it's so rewarding. A good example is one of my friends, and I mentioned it in some of my webinars. I saw them at a restaurant a few years ago, and they got up from their table and met me halfway as I was coming across the restaurant, just showing great delight and happiness in that we're reuniting, seeing each other. Again, just a welcome that did. They stood up and walked over to me and said out loud, "Steve, I'm so glad to see you." And you know what? It lifted my spirits so much, and I've never had that experience before. But then I thought about it and recognized what a great trait that was for them to have, because not only it made him feel great, but it makes everybody they do it with feel great. And I started trying to do that too, and I teach it in my lessons, and I'm telling you, it's real, and I want you to do that because it helps you start defining your values and the ways that you're going to approach things. And next, when you do something right, when it goes good, document it and celebrate your achievements. Be proud of the fact that you're making progress. Treat yourself with something special and share your success with those that you love. Be proud of that fact. Don't hide your candle under the basket, as they say, and hold on to these milepost achievements as you go. Remember, we talk about in the webinars that entrepreneurship is not the long run; it's one milepost at a time. Well, it's one achievement at a time too, because that means you're reaching your goals. So I'm I'm seeing that in some of the things that you are sharing with me as you start making progress and making things happen. I'm really proud of you, and I want you to share those events with me and with your customers and with other people. Nurture and identify other potential leaders. When you're around people that are showing leadership ability, we need to encourage them. We need to pat them on the back. We need to recognize what they're doing. And we need to say to them, as I'm saying to you, because someone said it to me from right there in Clinton, North Carolina one night, came up to me and said, "Steve, there is a greatness in you, and you can do so many great things." Yeah, someone said that to me, and I'll say it to you as often as I can, because it's so true. And I want you to feel real good about looking at someone right in the eye, and in your words, or using my words, there's a greatness in you. Let it out. Man, that builds people's enthusiasm and self-worth and encouragement like nothing else will do. It's when another human being recognizes that there's a greatness in you and you can do great things, and I want you to start doing it. You won't go wrong doing that. That's a good step. And when you do that with someone, they remember it like I remember the folks that said it to me. And because of that, their legacy lives on in me as long as I'm alive. Because I'll keep telling that to people, and I'll keep mentioning it as well. So you might want to try that. Do it tomorrow. This will give you a good feeling. Surround yourself with individuals who share passion and values. When you see other people that are expressing these types of feelings and have this kind of energy, draw near to them. Draw them to them. Find mentors and role models that inspire you. Yeah, you can let the rest go by the side. There's nothing wrong with finding role models that inspire you. In the last 5 years, I have found probably 4 or 5 real amazing individuals who just living average lives, working hard in their church, helping other people, have large families. But I've seen them do things that said to me they got a great inner strength. And I watched the way they use that and share it with other people and try to own that. Try to own that. And it really helps me. And I want to say to you, give it a try. When you see those people doing some good things that are really helping other people, do that. And you know what you're doing when you recognize it? You're recognizing that that individual is building their legacy and it's living in you. And other people will remember you the same way if you try to help them. What's the way that you can do this? Is be willing to say thank you. Be willing to show gratification. Be willing to say, I really appreciate what y'all doing, what you've done for me, and what you're doing for other people. I recognize that I'm not benefiting from it personally, but I can see that you're benefiting a whole lot of other people. Thank you for doing that. and take time to celebrate the achievements with them. Make a special moment to say, hey, congratulations. We're really proud of what you're accomplishing. And in entrepreneurship, we need a lot of encouragement. We need someone to say thanks for what you're doing from time to time. So when you're doing this for other people, you are nurturing your own legacy. And it's about the simple things: kindness, love, and support. These are the things that's going to be remembered long, long, long after we're gone. Not only by those that have loved you, they will miss you, but also they will remember you for the good things that you do. If your business is doing good things, long after it's gone, it will still be remembered. Legacy. Express that gratitude. Now let's have some fun for a moment and just individually think about some slices of life that go a long way. I had a slice of life tonight when Sherry remembered Carly C's from our previous lessons. And so Sherry, thank you so much. That shows you were paying attention, it's real, and then you had that personal experience of seeing one. Now you just need to carry it to the next step and visit one of those stores. So slices of life are sandwiched within our business legacies and our personal legacies. The cornerstone of small town business is rooted in the fond memories that we have as we were growing up at a favorite place that we went shopping, or a favorite place that we had to go with our parents, or some special times that we had at a certain business. So I ask each one of you right now, just let your hair down, let your guard down, and think about when you were a child. Were there some favorite places that you used to like to go, either by yourself or with your family or with a friend? So a certain store that really that you loved. There was a little hobby shop in Fayetteville, North Carolina, called the Hobby Shop, and I was into model trains. And man, if I could go to that hobby shop, I could stay there all day long, and I'd look at each one of those trains and dream about what they might do on my train tracks. Think about those hobby shops, and Raymond says he has some special memories from the barber shop. I do too, Raymond. Me and several of my friends grew up going to the barber on certain days of the week, and we'd all sit in there and have fun and look at the Playboy magazines they had in the corner, like little boys would do, and other things like that. And we had the best time at the barber shop. And the barber would tell us dirty jokes that we hadn't heard anywhere else. So that's what little mean boys used to do. But they had that barber shop has a legacy. The barber's name is Owen Jackson. Owen Jackson. O-W-E-N. He was a wonderful fellow, and his brother called barber with him. His name was Earl Jackson. So thanks for sharing that. That was a great thing. And we had our drugstore, local drugstore, their corner store, that had a bar where you'd sit up there and you'd order fountain Coca-Colas, and they would make floats. Vanilla ice cream and Coca-Colas were something good. There's special places that we go to. Generation after generation remembers these places. Think about where your favorite stores were. If you want to send me a note on it, I'll use it in my long haul series. If you've got a favorite place and you can tell me about it, it goes a long way. Did you have a country store you went to? How about just saying either yes or no? Did any of you raised in the country or rural area, and you had a place that was on the corner that you go to that they served RC colas and moon pies and buy you peanuts and pour it into Coca-Cola bottles? If you had that experience, that's going to kind of date you as a baby boomer, but some of them still exist even now, I guess. But they were very special places where memories live on. It's where we went, as I'm showing you here, in my time when we worked in tobacco fields, and on weekends when you went to the store, it was just a little store with one person sitting behind the counter, and you'd buy yourself a pack of peanuts and you pour them into Coca-Colas, and that's an interesting thing to do. I still do it every now and then. You might want to give it a try. Cokes and peanuts were a special thing. Walking around in the sporting goods stores. I know a lot of A lot of folks in this area love to go to the sporting goods store and buy the fish bait or the baseball materials, depending on what your favorite sports was. Those were slices of life. Or it might have been that on weekends you and a friend maybe went to a candy store or went to the movie or to a Chuck E. Cheese's. Let those memories live. Hold on to them. Remember how special they were to you, so that in your business, some way, you find a way to give those kind of warm feelings and memories to your customers. When you start doing that, man, you're getting in the groove and you'll really understand what I'm talking about. Maybe you were into music and enjoyed certain music venues or clubs, or maybe you were into the music and you loved your performances or going to places. Maybe it was you sang in church or you had those special memories there. So here's a picture of Carly C's. How about that? Maybe you worked in the grocery store. I had my friends all through the years when I went shopping several times a week in the store. We create those friendships. And mentioning right now Carly C's again, they have built their business on friendly employees. Friendly employees is what Carly C's considers their greatest asset, and it really pays dividends. And still now they're opening new stores based on that. So maybe it was the tractor store, and that was which we own. We had a tractor store, and the little boys and little girls would love to come and play with the tractors, and we'd always keep some toys there. But mainly they enjoy climbing up on the tractors and pretending to drive them. Slices of life, and they still come to me every now and then when they recognize me and say that they appreciate it. Now there's a picture of me at the train store, at the hobby store, and the people behind the counter they take all the time in the world with the little boys and girls, showing them those train cars, and so special. I had a whole building built in my backyard at one time, and full of train sets. I could run 12 trains at one time, and those were great slices of life with me and my children as they were growing up. Maybe it was the auto parts store. Maybe you were into hot rods or working on cars or doing that kind of stuff. Or maybe you worked at or you loved going to certain dress shops, especially the girls as you were growing up and changing fashions as you changed your ages. And how about that? There's the old barber shop that's just mentioned, always building things. So treasure those moments, especially treasure with your children now as you have an opportunity to do it. Those first haircuts are very, very special times in our lives. The first time to the beauty shop and getting your hair styled, that's a great moment. And I remember my granddaughters going up. I didn't go with my daughters. At the time, I was too busy making money and doing this and that, but that's why I'm a better granddaddy than I was a daddy. But I sure enjoy it with my granddaughters and the things that they're living through with slices of life. I want you to own a whole loaf of bread that you see is full of slices of life, doing all those things that the children do at businesses. Do you have those memories? Have I stirred any memories in your mind? Give me a yes or a no over here. I hope we've got a little smile that went on your face as you had a really good memory. Now, when I stop, I don't give everybody a chance to share a memory, and I really want you to do it. I want you to open up and tell us about a favorite slice of life that you had at a business as you were growing up. So before we get into that, so you'll be thinking about it, let's talk about that quiz that I sent to you earlier, and y'all think about answering up here over on the chat board if you don't mind. So let's get into our quiz. When is the ideal time for a small business founder to start planning their exit or their transition strategy? When you think you're going to get a purchase offer? Way early, ideally way ahead of the first time you think about selling your business, 6 months before you plan to retire, or only when the business starts losing money? What answer would you say? A, B, C, or D? A, B, C, or D? Let me see all of you answer up over here. What is the best time? What is the best time to start planning? Well, let's see. We got a couple of B's. Let's see. B's exactly right. Congratulations. Way early. Planning early ensures you build a structured, high-value asset and protects your operations from unexpected life events. Let me say that again. It protects you from unexpected life events. If you're thinking about it now and thinking about planning for it, things will go a whole lot better for you if something bad comes along. Number two, what is the core difference between book value and fair market value when you're talking about a business's value? What is the core difference? Book value includes community goodwill. Fair market value does not. B, book value is an accounting metric based on the historic cost of fair market value. C, fair market value is always exactly double book value. And D, book value is for the internal family transitions only. What do you think? What do you think? We got some B up there, and the answer is B. Congratulations. Book value is an accounting metric based on the historical cost. Fair market value is what a buyer is willing to pay. That's exactly right. Remember, you always have to remember there's two different values to work with. Number three, which small business valuation method focuses heavily on evaluating the tangible items like equipment, real estate, and inventory? Market, income, asset-based, or legacy-based? The answers coming up on the board are B, and the answers in the machine are C. So let's see here. Okay, it is C. Sherry's got a C and Raymond's got a C here on the new answers. Asset-based approach is right. That's looking at tangibles and what you paid for stuff. That's why when you're selling a business, oftentimes when I'm helping someone evaluate their business, we'll use a lot of different types of evaluations to come up with what's real in the market. Number four, in a successful business transition timeline, what happens during the post-transition phase? I mentioned this at the first of the program. The post-transition, after signing the initial letter of intent, appraising physical inventory, reviewing and refining and helping the business grow, or finding potential buyers with more market research. What happens in the post-transition phase? And the answer we're coming up with, lots of C's. C is correct. Congratulations. That's exactly right. True legacy transitions don't end at the closing table. They include the phase where the business continues to grow and respects its roots. So the people that bought my business launched the business on our history and the promise that they're going to maintain and improve and bring new products in. And I want to tell you, experiencing that has been great because it's real, it's true. I've lived that now for the last year and a half, and I know that it's true. I'm glad to share it with you. Number five, agreeing to a final sale price and primary terms means the formal transition is completed and finished. You can immediately stop marketing to your customers. The transition process is only beginning, and the formal legal due diligence steps lie ahead. And D, the business automatically transfers to the new owner the next day. Big, big question. What do you think, folks? I'm looking at all C's. Let's see how that works out. Yes, indeed. We talked about that earlier, and that's exactly right. Just because you come up with agreed at a sale price, the real work starts in, and the real chances things fall apart start. So the due diligence is important and needs to be worked through. What is the primary purpose of drafting ancillary agreements during a business sale? What is the primary purpose of drafting these side agreements and understandings? To completely change the agreed sale price, to handle specialized details like non-compete clauses, training periods, or building leases, to hide financial liabilities, to replace the primary purchase contract entirely. Important question. Why do you need the little side agreements like non-compete clauses, things like that? What is that? The correct answer, B, to handle the special situations, because every business deal is going to be different. And as you get into planning the transition with the new owners, things are going to be coming up all the time. So you may have to not rewrite the original purchase agreement, but come up with some special ancillary agreements to handle special things that come up. I guess we had to do maybe 10 or 15 of those situations when I sold my business a couple of years ago. Why does a small business in a small, close-knit town hold value beyond the bottom line? How or why does the business hold value beyond the bottom line? Because it provides purely a tax shelter to local town officials. It serves a vital community thread, fostering memories, relationships, and regional character. It operates completely independent of local customer satisfaction. It guarantees a monopoly over regional commerce. Why is a business worth more than just money? Answers. You're all saying B, and B is exactly right. Because a business, if you make it that way, is so much more than just a money-making thing in a community. It's a thread that holds the community together, fosters memories and relationships and character, and creates slices of life for the members of the community. Which of the following is considered a foundational step to build an enduring personal business legacy? Personal and business legacy. Foundation step: keeping your business goals entirely secret, defining your core values and vision, focusing exclusively on profit margins, selling your assets quickly without a structured timeline. Answers coming up. Thank you all for all these answers. You're right on target. B, the first foundation step, as we talked about earlier, define your core values and be willing to share your vision to serve, and write it down, make it a blueprint so that you know it and your community knows it and the people thinking about buying your business knows it. What does the concept slices of life refer to in the context of small business legacy? The specific ways a company divides up its financial stocks, the percentage of profit allocated to local advertising, the happy threads of human experience, shared transitions, and fond memories that someone attaches to a store, and the physical division of commercial real estate. Slices of life. How do we define that? Which one of those define it? Well, we've got B's and we've got C's. So what do you think now? Let's visit over it. So we've got some more C's coming in. Now, a couple of you have gone lazy on me. Let's see if you can answer this question. The rest of you chime in. What is the correct answer here, do you think? I want to see you. This is important because in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to share with me slices of life that you remember. I'll put you on the spot. And the answer is C. The happy threads of human experience, shared transition, and fond memories attached to a certain business. Very good. And number 10, and lastly, what is the fundamental goal of performing due diligence when assessing a business legacy? Okay? Yeah, isn't important enough that you need to do the due diligence to skip the valuation process and go right straight to closing the deal, to comprehensively investigate and verify the assets, liabilities, legal standings, and long-term commercial potential, to ensure the current owner pays zero taxes, to change the brand name of the company immediately before transferring. Wow, pretty serious questions. What are the answers, my friend? Let's see, we got a lot of B's over here, and B's is exactly right. Due diligence is the essential verification process that uncovers the truth, risk, and functional potential of the business. And we can have all the marketing, all the pitches that we want to give, all the advertising we want to do, but before you buy a business and before anyone's going to buy your business, you need to do the due diligence and take it very seriously. You want to verify. You want to trust, but you want to verify everything because it's a lifetime affecting decision, and you want to do it right and do the investigating it takes and find someone that's been there before to give you good advice. Okay? So let's see what the answer is. That's right, B. So the faithful legacy. Real happy to close up with this thought, with faithful, putting faith into it. Building a faithful legacy is about more than what we leave behind financially or material. It's about the value and faith and love we pass on to those who come after us. A strong legacy, both personally and professionally, as a small business owner, is built on the foundation of a specific mindset that emphasizes integrity, accountability, continuing improvement. It's having a mindset to create personal and small business legacy. I want all of us to have that faithful legacy. Both personally and business hinges on cultivating that mindset, emphasizing unwavering ethical conduct in all of our dealings, and internal and external. This means doing what's right, even when it's difficult and costly. A commitment to exceeding expectations in personal and business interactions, and a dedication to fulfilling the unfinished good. Let's all try to finish the unfinished good. Being willing to give customers more than they expected. A commitment always focuses on value, prioritizing delivering products or services that are genuinely benefit to customers and solve their problems, rather than simply just meeting basic requirements. A commitment, mine, your, having a commitment to move beyond the simple deals and sales, interactions, and building genuine relationships based on trust, empathy, consistent value, striving to make right for any harm that's been good and past wrongs, striving to make right for any harm that we've done in past wrongs, and being willing to acknowledge and apologize when a mistake or harm occurs. Take responsibility, express genuine remorse, and offer a sincere apology, as well as take tangible actions to fix the harm. Now, we don't have many people say this in webinars and seminars, but this is an important statement about the legacy that we're going to live behind us. And doing these things is what's setting your personal legacy aside and up for inspection, as well as the business legacy. This is true. Hang on to this. It's good stuff. Review and complete any good left undone. Reflecting on opportunities where you could have done something but you didn't to make it right. Embrace continuous improvement in the ongoing process. Always do your best to contribute to the well-being of others in your community. When we embody these principles, you not only build successful business, but also leave a meaningful mark on the world, influencing others to embrace and approach. Now, these are important words, and I worked hard on them and studied and did it, and I want to share them with you and encourage you to own the concept and share the words with other people as you go forward. Planning a smooth business ownership transition to sell or exit or retire, while building a legacy with real value that lives on for generations to come. If I'm preaching to you, that's what I'm doing, because we don't give but one chance to give this some thought and to accept it as the way that we go forward. So let me say to you now, thank you so much. And let's think about, and I'll open up and ask each one of you to share with me a childhood memory and a business, if you would, that brings back fond memories of something for you or you and your family or you and your friends. I've shared with you about my corner drugstore, my train shop, what I experienced in the tractor businesses. David, you have a childhood memory of a business that you used to love to go to? And so, Rita, you're next. You still with me, David, or are you doing your grandchildren stuff?
I'm still here. I'm watching wide open.
So what is your favorite memory of the business?
I guess just getting started up and moving and having them involved and stuff.
Now I'm talking about you as in childhood. Did you have a favorite place you used to like to go?
Oh yeah. I used to really like to ride BMX bikes, so I went to a BMX park all the time.
There you go. You got those memories, right?
Oh yeah. And then I progressed into professional mountain bike racing, and I took my daughter and son, and I guess we progressed.
Very good. Thanks for sharing that. Sherry, you're going to be next, but Sarita, share with us childhood memory of the business.
I think when I was little, I used to love. There used to be like a Wilson's grocery store here in Clinton.
Right.
And I used to love going there with my granddaddy.
How about that? Had you thought about that recently?
Yeah, I did. I was telling somebody about it when we was talking about the grocery stores that has been through Clinton, and I brought up the Wilson's grocery store.
How about that? I have those same memories. I went to the A&P Atlantic and Pacific grocery store with my mom in Fayetteville when I was growing up, and I remember they had an 8 o'clock coffee grinder in the store, and I thought that was amazing. We ground our own coffee right in the store. How about you?
Good memory.
Yeah. How about you, Sherry? You got a favorite store you remember?
Yeah, so even though I grew up in the city, in my neighborhood, we had like a little strip in the center of the neighborhood with a like lounge place. It was a restaurant, a laundromat, beauty salon, barbershop, and like a little convenience store on that same strip. So that was like the social gathering spot for the entire neighborhood. And majority of, well, a lot of the neighborhood was my family. So, you know, it was just good times growing up.
That's really it. Does that place still exist?
No, they actually they converted it into a daycare, or I think like a daycare or child care center now.
So the businesses are gone, but the memory lives on, right?
Oh yeah.
That's the point we want to make. Thank you for sharing that. How about you, Edna? What's your slice of life? You still with us, Edna? Mary, you're next. Are you there, Edna?
I'm here, Mr. Carver. I am.
Okay, Eric, go ahead. You got a slice of life?
They had like a dollar store back in the day that everything in there was actually called the 99-cent store. And I remember going as a kid, and it was everything was under $1, like for real. Even plus the tax, it was 99 cents was the max. But that's not the same case as of today.
So you could have a little bit of money and go have a big time, couldn't you?
We used to buy our little toys and gum and little knick-knack items.
Right on. We had here in Dunn, we had a Roses 5 and 10, they called it, and they had things in there for a nickel and a dime, and the children just used to love to go there. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you sharing that. And let's go back to Mary. Mary, did you have a slice of life to share? Okay, and let's see who would be next. Would be Sonia. You still with us?
I'm here. I do have one suggestion, and I'm going to tell you my slice of life. Is there any way you can put your survey up before we leave so that we can say how well or you did in class, so you can get your surveys right away? Is there any way you can make that possible?
Well, the surveys are sent to you from these small business centers. They don't come from me. But,
okay. Is there any way we can get that put in at the very end so we can go ahead and right away and have that, because there are some that I missed when I went to register for classes. And I was like, I missed because I took previous classes, and they said, okay, you need to check those off. How good was the class? And I want to give mine like right away. So I don't know if it'd be convenient if we can get those posted in there. Those who are online already in attendance, they can go forward and go ahead and give their surveys at that time. I don't know. Maybe you can get one of your assistants to help you and find out, or something else.
Well, I have no assistance, but what I can do is after the webinar is over, I can send each of you an email with the address where the surveys need to be sent to, and y'all can just email the director at the center in Newbern and tell them what.
That'll be fine.
Yeah, that's as close as I can get to helping with that.
That sounds cool. That sounds cool to me.
How about your slice of life?
I would say the Thanksgiving parades, because my family is military, and most of them would have an opportunity to come home, or we get to see some of them at that time. And I couldn't wait to see like the floats, or I see them on the floats, or I see like the military on the floats, and I love the what do you call those little cotton candy and the fun stuff we used to do. And then when it was over, we would go to the Goodwill and have pass out bikes and stuff like that. So it was pretty good, like toys for tots and all that stuff. So
fantastic.
That's my
those memories are so important. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
And Cynthia, thanks for being with us tonight. Have you got some special childhood memories at a business? Okay, maybe she's away from her thing. Raymond, are you?
She wrote hers in the chat, Steve.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. I remember my family used to make flowers to be worn on Mother's Day. You know, we did that too. The flowers were red and white. Red if your mama was living, or white if your mother had passed. The flowers were worn by customers to church at Mother's Day. Thank you for sharing that. You know, we don't do that anymore. It doesn't seem like in churches that we used to, but every Mother's Day, matter of fact, my family had two rose bushes. We had a red rose bush and a white rose bush, and we cut those flowers on Mother's Day and wore them. Thanks for sharing that. That's a great memory. How about you, Raymond? You still with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
How about a slice of life?
Well, as I was saying, the barber shop where I lived was iconic. Not only were you brought up as a young man, but you were also invited to participate as a younger kid on your food for thought. That was like your will time.
Yeah. What city were you raised in?
Fairmont, West Virginia.
How about that? How big a town is that?
It's got about 750 people.
So you know what small town life is all about then.
Yes, sir. Yes. So I mean, growing up in the 70s, kids were not meant to be opening their mouths until asked to be spoken to. That's where I came from.
I understand. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments? So, let's see. It looks like Mary left us. Any other comments from anyone? Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight. I know I put a lot of my personal opinion into it, and to try to wrap this up, I've lived through selling businesses and the transitions. Sometimes it has not been pleasant. Overall, it's worked out really, really well, but helping other people transition in and out of their businesses gave me a lot of insight, and I wanted to share it with you. It's not stuff that you can read in a book usually. So thank you for finishing out this series. I think all of y'all have earned your certificates. We're proud of you. Sarita and I'll be working on getting them to you. And I hope that you'll continue to visit our webinars. Again, we'll be working on the rest of the Monday nights in August. And then in the fall, we have a big session. I do appreciate y'all's comments over in the chat board. And as Sherry asked, I'll send you an email as soon as we sign off and tell you where you can email your remarks and about our series. And I'd appreciate you sending Lee Albritton a note and telling him the good and the bad about what we've tried to achieve the last 5 weeks. Thank you so much. God bless you, your family, and your business. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night. Good night, everybody.